The question that is always thrown around is, should we use pre-made assets or create our own, especially code assets, leaving the art assets just to be a placeholder if you're planning a released game. So join me and let's have a chat on what I think about this argument. Sound the horn and let's get started. Hi everyone, it's your Fadrik and welcome to our small adventure and discussion about how to use assets and should we use them or just create our own. And I get asked this question like twice a week since like 2 years, so it's very important to mention it out. For starter, I'm a software engineer, so one of the things that I've learned in college is to always write a reusable code so that it can be transferred between projects and use it whenever we want. So the idea of the assets, I am 100% on it. But, and it's a big but, I really love to write my own assets and to use them rather than just relying on other people's assets. Because, and coming to our first point in this discussion, it's sometimes hard to read other people's code if it's not written well and don't have any comments and not very well structured. So you can't always easily spot bugs, so maybe your game will crash and you don't know why, and you have to go in and search for it for hours in that asset script, which is really tiresome thing to do, and I fell for that trick countless times. So far, for me, I really love to write my own assets, and I have a simple motto: if something is simple enough that you can do by yourself, then why use someone else's work? Spending our time to write our own simple assets can save a lot of time. For example, the asset that I wrote to help me control the camera in an RTS 2D style game that I created to my Kingdom Generation project, I simply reused it for my latest game, The Wanted Merchant, which saved me a lot of time. And time happens to be my second point of this discussion. Using a pre-made asset from the store is a huge time saver in the start, but baby, the implementing will take longer, and still it's amazing how fast you can create a full game by just downloading pre-made assets. And you will say that writing your own assets can take a huge time investment, and I agree, but that time will be saved in the future. Going back to my last example, building the camera for the generator took me around half a day to pull it off, but in The Wanted Merchant it took me around 5 minutes to put it down and modify the code a bit. My third point is the customization of the assets. No matter how awesome and detailed a pre-made store asset is, it's always lacking something if you're creating a small and really specific type of games, and modifying it can take ages and more waste of time rather than writing your own. Again, with my example, I love to code 2D style top-down games, so that camera system that I wrote is gonna be used a lot in my future project, and I made it simply to fit my style of development. My fourth point is kind of personal, but having to download a lot of assets and include them in your project will make it even more messier, because none of the assets will be in your style of file organization. Maybe it's not a big deal, but it really gets on my nerves to have my files in this project not in all the same way of organization. Your skills as a developer have to be my fifth point. Experienced developers can easily write assets or even understand a pre-made asset, but junior developers always have the assumption that using assets will be easier for them, then they just hit a bug that leaves them stuck for days. But if they took the time to write their own code, not only they'll get more experience, but they'll avoid bugs along the way. As much as I hate pre-made assets, I enjoy making them. For example, on this channel, I've created two simple assets. The first one is pretty simple. It's a main menu jam that you can plug in on all your game jam projects. The other one is a pretty much a space game. We have a ship, you can modify it as much as you like. It's not finished asset, but it's full, so people can go in, experiment, and just play with the code. Let's get back to the video. My seventh point is using assets that require changing setting in the game engine, like physics, layers, or having specific tags, which changing a small part of it can cause the asset to break, or after it the whole project. But building your own assets will always have in mind your own development system and will be designed by you for you. I hope this video was clear and simple to answer this argument, I really love every time we have it. Even at my work, I work with someone who loves uses assets and use them all the time. And nights, if you are looking for a cool place to hang out, chat and have some fun, or ask all your game development question, you can join and be a part of our Kingdom server over on Discord. If you made it this far, please consider subscribing, and thanks for watching, and why not leave a like and your opinions on this argument and this subject in the comments below. I would love to hear them and have some fun. See you all in the next adventure.